Think you got what it takes to be the best in the Fight Night Champion middleweight league? Oh yeah? YouTube, what is good? What's happening? Data Report coming at you with another league video. We had a great amount and great fights that went down last Sunday night fights and throughout the week. Got a ton of fights to cover and a ton of stuff to talk about. So we're not going to pull any punches. I want to get into announcing next week's Sunday night fights, which we got a star-studded card. We got title matches, we got anticipated rematches, we got grudge matches, we got it all here in the Fight Night Middleweight League, man. We're the hottest thing going right now. I got spammers talking to me, telling me that they're trying to learn how to box just so they can join this league, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That can prove that if you get big enough, we could change the face of this game, man. So we're gonna go ahead and go into the first fight. Big Locks versus D of the Comp. For the WBC World Championship. Big Locks 83 going up against D Other Comp in what possibly could be Big Locks' toughest opponent yet. That is crazy considering the guys that he has fought, considering that he fought AC Corners to win the belt. AC Corners is a legend in the game, but with that being said, the AC Corners that we saw in that fight, I just want to put that out there, a little disclaimer. The AC Corners that we saw in that fight is not the usual AC Corners that we see. But regardless, D Other Comp, he came to fight. D Other Comp won the first round. Big Locks came back strong, winning the second, third, and fourth. But coming to the fifth round, D Other Comp comes back, wins the fifth, 6th, 7th, and the 8th round to be up 5 rounds to 3 going into the 8th round. Big Locks looked like he was in trouble. He looked like he might be on the verge of losing the belt. But Big Locks, as the true champion does, found the will, found the power, found the way to come back and score the knockdown in the 9th round. Moving on into the 10th. The Other Comp holds on, wins the 10th round. So we're going into the 11th round scorecards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds to 4 with the knockdown for Big Locks, making a 5-6 round fight. We come in and Big Locks was able to score another knockdown in the 11th round and also win the 12th round, escaping by the skin of his teeth with a 14-12, 14-12, 13-13 decision. Split decision, 2 judges having it 2 points in Big Locks' favor, 1 judge having it a draw. As you guys know by now, there was no draws in Fight Night Champion, no matter how close the fight was. And I agree with this decision simply because Big Locks scored those 2 knockdowns, and it is what it is. You know, but just big shout out to Big Locks doing this thing, taking out a very tough competitor. I was very impressed by D Other Comp in this fight, just his ability to bring it. And he brung it on fight, man. He didn't give up, not 1 ounce to give up in this, man. Very good competitor. And, you know, from what we first saw, he's come a long way, man. Dude's a beast. So we're going to go ahead and start moving on. And we were supposed to have a WBO title match between Louisiana and Muffle Snuffle. Muffle Snuffle was not able to be reached. He didn't show up for the fight, for the second Sunday night fight in a row. You got to let us know what's going on if you're not going to be there, so we can find a replacement in advance. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next title fight that went down, which was Day to Rip One, yours truly, going up against JBL for the vacated IBF belt. Now this was a great fight, man. It was pretty one-sided. I felt I boxed very effectively in this fight. But a lot of the rounds, came down to simply 1 or 2 counters or 1 or 2 big punches that put the score in my favor. Let's see, we'll fast forward to the 8th round. I think he won 1 round, and then by the 9th round, or the 10th round actually, my bad. The 10th round, I scored a knockdown, and you see that JBL apparently had enough. You know, I'm not saying anything bad about this man at all, but he ends up staying down and to end the fight, and I become the IBF champion. Now we're gonna go into some fights that next we have the veteran Doc Dosa going up against the promising from the tournament Pandemonium 808, able to make it all the way to AC Corners before being eliminated. And now we have these two facing off. Now this fight was a very one-sided fight, to say the least. Doc Dosa came to fight in this fight, and you see Pandemonium, you know, staying back, kind of being hesitant, and Doc Dosa just landed shots. Doc Dosa able to win every single round, scoring knockdowns in the 9th and the 10th to be the winner by decision, 100 to 88. Very good fight, guys, and very impressive bout by Doc Dosa. The man is no joke. Yeah, you like that, Ron. You like that, Ron. So yeah, going ahead and moving on. Next up, we have two more veterans at the game going head to head. My boy NS Houston versus I Test Spammers. Both have had a rocky start in the league. Both have had some tough losses. So both of them were coming in looking to rectify that and get themselves a good league win. NS Houston brings us a fight at the 8th round. And we can't see what happened, but we can see the scorecards here. We have NS Houston winning the first, I Test Spammers the second, NS Houston winning the third, I Test Spammers winning the 4th and 5th, and then after that it was all NS Houston picking up a knockdown in the 10th round to be the winner by decision. NS Houston, and we have it 97 to 92. Started off a very back and forth fight, with I Test Spammers able to pick up 3 of the first 6 rounds, and then it was all my boy NS Houston picking up a good league win. Congratulations, guys, good fight. And yeah, moving on to the next up, ladies and gentlemen, I barely proudly bring to you the debut. I got rhymes for days, man. Y'all know about that, right? I got rhymes for days, yo. I bring you the debut of Fight Night's finest, former dominant, unified middleweight champion of the past league. Yep, that's unified, folks. IBF, WO, and WBC champion. Making his debut, goes after Reezy Too Cold. In his first match, he comes out dominant, scoring a knockdown at the end of the first round, scoring a knockdown in the second round, but unfortunately this fight was cut short, shorter than it would have been anyway, but it was cut short due to a disconnect in the middle of round 3. I'm not sure what happened there, but Reezy apparently didn't want to do over due to the way the fight was going. No disrespect to Reezy Too Cold, he's a great competitor, and he's learning a lot, learning more each time he fights, which is awesome. But just not cut out the deal with Fight Night's finest at this point. So great first win. Sucks that it got disconnected, but that's just the way Fight Night's champion goes sometimes. So moving on. Fight once again, Fight Night's finest says he ain't waiting, he is coming for y'all motherfuckers in this league. He wants one after another, so he sees my boy Houston and he says, Houston, let's do this. They get in the ring and Houston's got a problem. They start off pretty even. Fight Night's finest wins the first round and as Houston wins the second round, but then after that it is all Fight Night's finest, winning the 4th, 5th, 6th, catching a knockdown in the 7th round, catching 2 knockdowns in the 8th round, and then I'm guessing the 4th and final knockdown comes in round 9 because the video cuts off a little early. Not sure what's going on there, man. You gotta quit slipping and get them videos all the way through, but it is what it is. Good fight, and yeah, he gets his second win, his second league win, so he's moving on up. I'm looking forward to seeing him at the top. Well, actually, I'm not looking forward to seeing him at the top because that means I'm gonna have to fight him at some point, and then, yeah. But you know, good shit by Finest Finest, and I'm glad to see that he's finally joined the league. He said he's coming for y'all Bandcamp motherfuckers, all of you. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that. Moving on. Next up, we have yet another fight from NS Houston, who has been getting tons of work in this league. And this fight doesn't disappoint either, man. He puts a clinic, pretty much a clinic on Slung Cut 199. Ends up winning a 8th round KO via 3 knockdowns. Wins every single round. Good performance by my boy, and he's slowly moving up, facing better competition, and getting his game together, man. That's what I like to see from you guys. So good fight, Slung Cut. Next up, we have another great fight courtesy of the Doctor, Doc Dosa. He went up against Militiamatic, and what was a good fight. It started out really close, but Doc Dosa, man, he really just shined in this fight. Like, you know, everybody knows I'm not the biggest fan of Militiamatic, but you know, all that aside, it was just a really good, solid fight from Doc Dosa, man. The kind of performance that you want to see, and that he wanted to see, I'm sure. Bumping him up to rank number 3 and in title range, so he could be challenging anybody for a title now. Myself, and it could be a Data Brooklyn versus Doc Dosa too, which was a pretty epic fight when that thing down. Clear in the last tournament, the last tournament before even the first league. So it's been a minute since we stepped in the ring. So you know, that could be a very good fight. But in this fight, you saw, you know, good footwork from Doc Dosa, which you always see. You saw good counter punches, which you always see. But I was impressed personally when they had to work on the inside and the combinations that he threw. He's been criticized before for only having a certain amount of combinations. He's seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. But you know, I saw comments saying he'd been working on it, throwing different combinations, adding different weapons to his arsenal, and you could really see that. And you saw him talking about, you know, when you're a really good defensive fighter, or when you're going up against top competition, it's easy for, you know, most people's main weapon, that straight hand, to be taken away from you. And you know, he's been doing a really good job of replacing that straight with other punches. So great fight to both gentlemen, but you know, a very impressive showing by Doc Dosa. Scorecards, pretty even at first. Like I said, Militiamatic winning the first one, Doc Dosa the second round, Doc Dosa the third round. Militiamatic, sorry guys. Militiamatic winning the first one, Doc Dosa winning the second one, Militiamatic winning the third, Doc Dosa winning the fourth, fifth. Militiamatic comes back to win the sixth, but then after that, it was all Doc Dosa. No knockdowns or anything, just a good, clean fight. And you know, Doc Dosa takes the win home. That's what's up. Alright guys, those are the fights that we have had so far this week. 2 of those last 2 just got added today. Both great fucking fights. If you want to check out some good non-league fights, check out the fight that I have with Militiamatic on Sunday, and also check out Pemby66 going up against AC Carnage. They're not quite in league range yet, so it was just a spar, I guess. And also check out Boxing IQ versus Big Locks. It was another great fight. But right now, what I want to do is tell you about the star-studded card I mentioned earlier. Man, these fights are so good. I wish I'm gonna look into figuring out how to stream. Maybe I'll talk to IQ and see how he does it. Because I think it would be so dope to just have one fight after another, streaming live for you guys. You know what I mean? Having commentary, maybe get Fight Night's Finest on a commentary with somebody else. That's my dream that I have for this, man. That would be so dope. But it would require a lot of help from you guys, you know, being on time with your fights, and you know, you guys having a camera and being able to like switch. So you know, I don't know, it's gonna take a lot of work. I'm not sure how it would all work. I'm gonna have to talk to AC Game. But let's go ahead and go into the forum, and let's go ahead and cover the title fights that we have lined up for this Sunday. Big Locks 83, who is 7-0 and 4 KOs. Nobody has been able to touch him in the league yet, except maybe this man right here might be able to do it. Both of these guys are OGs, one of the OGs of Fight Night Champion, man. HC Gaming for you and Big Locks 83, both people I have trained with when I was a scrub. Some people may think I'm still a scrub. Hey, fuck you, man. But Anyway, Big Locks 83 and AC Game I have learned a lot from. I've heard about wars that these guys have been in when we were all in the same gym, but I never got to see it on video, man. Never got to see it on video, so I'm finally going to be able to do that. Big Locks 83 takes on HC Gaming for you for the WBC Championship. Both of these guys are top members in the band camp, so it's going to be interesting to see how that fight goes down. They spar with each other, they know each other, you know, better than I know, you know, fighting Hispanos, because we spar all the time. We know pretty much what's coming, when it's coming, so it's going to be, I got a feeling it's going to be a chess match, but if I had to pick a winner, I'm going to go with HC Gaming, just because he's a little more technical than Big Locks is sometimes, and I think that might be a problem for Big Locks. You know, he's going to have to manage his punches well, maybe work that jab a little bit more than I see him working it, but the dude's a beast. He doesn't need any advice from me on how to fight, so yeah. We're going to move into the next one. Louisiana is taking on student of AC Carnage and ranked number 2 fighter Lanto 209. This man is one of the newest members of the band camp. His test to get in the band camp, Louisiana, the WBO champion. And I heard rumors that Lanto won that fight, so he very well could end up taking the belt from Louisiana. And it's going to be a great fight to watch. And the fight that I'm most excited about, I know some other people are going to be excited about it, because the first, well, not the first fight, we actually had 4 fights, but our last fight came down to just a fucking nail biter, man. It ended up losing to AC Carnage by 1 point. You know, a lot of speculation on if there was one more round, if this, if that. But bottom line is, I won the fight. He won the fight. He was the better man that fight. We're gonna see who the better man is this fight. Both of us have 6 wins. He has 1 loss to Big Locks, 4 KOs for me, 3 KOs for AC Carnage. This is gonna be a great fight. Now, just because the title fights are over doesn't mean that we are done with Sunday night fights. Anybody who wants in can get in. You see, Militia Matic is ranked number 3 right now, but that will not stand because he lost to number 10. See, I don't understand these rankings. This is gonna have to get updated, because the last time I saw it, Fight Night Swanus was number 11. Doc Doser was number 8, and then Militia Matic was number 3. But Doc Doser being at number 8 last time I saw the rankings beat Militia Matic, so therefore Militia Matic would be the number 8, Finest Finest would be at number 11. But when the ranking ladder is updated completely, it will show Doc Doser being at rank number 3, free to challenge a title after this Sunday, when all the title fights have gone down. So who knows who he's going to be challenging, but I'm fairly confident that Doc Doser is going to challenge a champion and have a great chance in whatever champion he chooses. But it's going to be Fight Night's Finest versus Militia Matic, and a heated rivalry fight, you could say. You know, Finest kind of got jerked into the whole Militia Matic, Dave the Rip One beef, if you want to call it that, and some words were exchanged back and forth. Fight Night Finest is actually one of the key trainers in Militia Matic, making him the great fighter that he is today. So, teacher versus student one last time, and it should be a great fight, man. There was some other fights that were mentioned. I don't know if they were confirmed yet, so we're just going to leave it at that. That is 4 great fights for you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and just take a quick overview of the top 10 and the rankings. AC Carnage, like I said, 6-1-3. Lanto 209 challenging for the WBO belt, 5-2-2. Militia Matic 3-1 is what it's gonna be, I believe. HC Gaming 2-0-1, still undefeated. Turn Up 3000 5-1-3. You know, a lot of people call this man a spammer for some reason. When I sparred him, I saw no spam. You know, he's got to tighten up on certain things, you know, if he wants to stay in the top 10, but I don't think he's a spammer. So, you know, lay off the dude. You know, he said he might, you know, quit the league because everybody was giving him shit. But I think I squashed that. You know, I told him, I was like, man, are you going to let somebody on the internet, you know, stop you from displaying your skills? Do you think Floyd Money Mayweather is gonna give up on $1 million fights because somebody calls him a runner? Nah. You see what I mean? So it's not that serious. Don't let these people get to you. D of the Com 3-3-2 as the ladder stands right now. Finest 3-0. Smackhead 666 2-2-1. JBL 1-1-0. Doc Doser 2-2-1. Muffle Snuffle still only has that one fight. Hit us up, man. Let us know what's going on. As the rankings stand right now, Iraqi Cod is 3-4-2. NS Houston 7-13, 4-3-3. That might be 4-4. I'm not sure exactly. HC has a lot of these pictures, so I'm not sure exactly how certain fights go down on the picture side, except for the ranking side, like you guys. Espiana Armada, another promising new recruit, 5-1-3. Slong Cut 3-4-2. Dot KO Master, another guy that has potential, 3-1-2. The Get Hit Man. This dude is on his way to being a great fighter, man. We sparred the other day, and I think it only came down to like 2 or 3 points. 5-3-3. Reezy Too Cold 2-3-1. I Test Spammers 1-3-1. Pandemonium still sitting with 2 losses. Young Money Save On 1-2. And the rest of these guys have yet to get a leagues fight. So let's take a look. Oh, AC Gaming, what? He had this all set up for me. I wasn't even paying attention, man. My bad. Sunday Night Fights, WB side title fight, Big Locks versus AC Game. Louisiana versus Lanto, myself versus AC Carnage 2 grudge match. Yes, sir. Melissa Matic versus Fight Night's Finest, and another grudge match. Stay tuned on YouTube. So guys, if I'm not mistaken, that is pretty much it. I gotta admit that I'm a huge procrastinator on getting these videos done, simply because these guys are fighting so much. You know, I don't want to complain, but either because I love making these videos, but you know, I procrastinate to the last minute and I have to kind of rush through things. So I apologize if I missed anything, got anything wrong. I know I made a few corrections in you know, the earlier parts of this video. But that's pretty much it for you guys. Stay tuned for a great Sunday Night Fights, and it's not too late to get yourself on the card for Sunday Night Fights. If you got somebody you want to fight, if you're in range, it'll be a league fight. If not, it won't be. It doesn't have to be a league fight. Alright guys, this is Data Brooklyn saying sayonara. I'm out of here. Peace.